Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bill Derby, and this is your back to school night video for Pace 4 Music, 2020 and 21 school year, period 6 this year. I have one announcement to make that's associated with this slide right here. And that is, I'm going to move so you can see all the photos. That is the annual Parents Committee. You are hereby invited to the annual Parents Committee Thursday, October 29th, 7 p.m. via Zoom. A link will be sent closer to the meeting date. You're going to get a chance to meet me and my colleagues, Allison Parsley and Zachary Moore, the dance and theater teachers, and find out everything that's happening with PACE and everything that's happening with PACE under the circumstances. Make sure that you are on the email list. If you are not already receiving emails from the PACE Parents Committee, please reach out to David Siegerman, the head of the PACE Parents Committee, DSEIGS@optonline.net. All right, I hope to see you there at the at the PACE Parents Committee. Okay, this is what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to take you through a slightly abridged and slightly updated version of the Pace 4 Music beginning of the year video and tell you a little bit about what's happening with Pace 4 Music this year. And what's different about Pace 4 Music this year, and we're trying to do the best we can under the circumstances. Things are going to be a little bit changed, but here is my email address, and of course my colleague's email address here. Allison Parsley is the dance teacher and department chair, aparsley@mamkschools.org. Zachary Moore, the theater teacher, zmoore, ZMOORE @MamK Schools. And then I'm the music teacher, Bill Derby, wderby @mamkschools.org. We have in the past, which you might have used and expected to work, we've had a distribution list called pace@mamkschools.org. And there's a whole, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, there was a reconfiguring of all the distribution lists, and we're not sure that distribution list is active. So for the time being, until we get a confirmation that it works, go ahead and just use our email addresses. If you want to email us all at the same time, just put us all on it individually. And we'll let you know if we get our distribution list back. We told everybody to use it at the beginning of the year, and then we're not sure it's working. Okay, here's one of the big changes. Pace Music this year is a change for most teachers. Most teachers in the high school have had their room temporarily, and for the year, changed. Because we're trying to make sure that that all the classes, that the students are able to be at desks 6 feet apart, and so what that's changed, and we're also trying to minimize the amount of moving around the school in a day that we can for students. So that being the case, most teachers are being moved to another location. No different with me. This is the Pace Music Room now, as you notice, where we usually have the Pace Parents Committee meeting. Not this year. There's been a paint job on the wall. The floors are done, but it's become an academic global social studies classroom this year. And so we're not going to be meeting for class there. These are some of the spaces that are available to us. This is outside. The lobby is where we start and meet most of our classes. The foyer is available. The recording studio is in full use and set up as a recording studio, and that's great news. And there are also computer music studios in 5 different places: in the lobby itself, in the foyer, and in all 3 practice rooms, including the recording studio. This is actually the recording studio, and the other 2 music practice rooms are located on the way in to D251, and those are set up with drums, guitar, keyboard, and computer music station with GarageBand, Ableton Push, and iMovie, which we're going to be using this year. So we do have 5 stations that we can use. Okay. All right. The grading is a little bit different this year under the circumstances. We don't have a production every quarter, and so we don't have a portion of your grade determined by what you're doing with the production, because the production isn't even there. So there are really 2 different things happening with with the grading this year, and with coming in. One day you come in, and one day you don't come in. When you don't come into PACE, it's different than the other classes. In the other classes, all the other classrooms normally have a webcam in them, and the students, when they're not in school, they're at home zooming into their class on a webcam. None of our spaces, the theater, the lobby, the foyer, the dance studio, or the outside, are equipped with webcams, so we're not having those classes, and we're also, it's more of an active class with the students there, so it's a different situation altogether. So what's happening is, in PACE 4 is you're coming in and participating, and that's what part of your grade. And the other part of your grade is if there's work being turned in on Google Classroom, or live Zooms with everybody, which are occasional. So occasionally there are going to be live Zooms. Occasionally there are going to be Google Classroom assignments, and those are important to be checking on the Google Classroom, but it's not going to be a daily regular event. Okay. All right. Now, what are we doing in class? What are some of the curricular activities? Here they are. I'm just trying to move my little camera there so you can read it all. Okay. We are planning a digital music performance for the first semester, hopefully by December, January at the latest. And there's going to be a solo or small group digital music piece associated with that. And there's also going to be a full class, hopefully, collaborative digital music piece. So we're going to be spending a lot of class time working on those during class. We're going to do a music listening presentation scattered throughout the year. We'll have an occasional music listening day in which one student at a time will come and present their music playlist to the class. And there's some different cues and sort of categories of why you're bringing this piece in and showing it to us, and that piece and the other piece. And by the end of the year, we will have created a class playlist that will allow the students to share their music with each other. Okay. Instrumental music, we have ukuleles, piano, guitar. We have a wood cleaner that cleans the upright piano, the guitar, and the ukuleles, and we have a string cleaner that cleans the string and disinfects the strings. Many of the keyboards, the piano keyboards that the students will use, and the computers, we have electronic wipes for those. I also have gloves and wipes. So the percussion I haven't quite figured out as much. I'm not sure what to put like on the bongos and the. I haven't started passing those out and using them, and I actually might not. It's a little more complicated, but that's what's happening with the instruments. With the vocals, the students have to be 12 feet or 6 feet apart normally, but when singing, they have to be 12 feet apart. We do have in the lobby and in all the spaces, we have little markers, X's usually, that are different colors, that are assigned different colors, so that you can either be 6 feet apart if you're on any X, or 12 feet apart if you're all on X's of the same colors. And you can go there when you sing, or outside 12 feet apart when you sing. But we haven't done any and that much vocal music, and I think there's a little bit more from the student questionnaires. There's a little bit more concern about singing, so I might shy away from that a little more because of that in this class in particular. And as I mentioned before, we do have computer music 5 computer music stations. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to kind of rotate if we have a class that's larger than that, which we do, in order to give everybody a chance to have their own space and have their own computer music project. Performance opportunities. I mentioned earlier, we hope to have a digital performance in the first semester. We were trying to throw it together really fast before it got too cold, but we didn't get it done in time. We're hoping to have an outdoor performance, an outdoor paced performance, as soon as it gets warm. And if all the regulations about having an outdoor performance are the same in the spring as they are now, we believe we're probably going to have this outdoor performance in March. And we're hoping to have it on the baseball field in a similar kind of setup, logistically. Not logistically, but as far as where the stage is and where the audience is located as our graduation ceremonies in June. We plan to present the senior recital in June of 2021, in whichever capacity makes sense when the time comes. Last June, we did a senior recital that was on video, a video senior recital, with plans to have a live senior recital as soon as we can, and we're going to see where we are in April, when we would normally begin to start working on senior recital, to see what that's going to look like. But there definitely will be a senior recital. We just don't know what it's going to look like yet. That was all I wanted to share with you about Pace 4 music. I would love to see you once again at the Pace Parents Committee meeting on Thursday, October 29th via Zoom. I'd love for you to get on the email list if you're not already, by reaching out to David Sigerman, and I'd love to hear from you if you have any more questions. I hope all of you are doing okay. The class is off to a great start, and I wish you the best, and I hope to see you at the Pace Parents Committee. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.